SCO is the first topic that we are going to discuss, that is your Shanghai Cooperation Organization, right? Then the next topic will be the prospective entry of Iran and Belarus into the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, right? A very important topic. Already this year a question was there on SCO, so it is very important, can be asked in mains also in your GS2 part of international relations, right? So it's very important for you for both prelims as well as mains examination of UPSC or any other state PCS or any exam that you are trying to attempt. ठीक है, सारी जगह SCO की basic information is essential for you. Then how is SCO relevant for India, right? India's cooperation with SCO, how it is, that all we'll see, right? Then CAATSA, right? You might be hearing about this term a lot in the news, so let's just briefly know what it is all about and how it impacts India, right? Then again S400 system, S400 system always in news, right? So we should know the basics. What is it? Why is it so much in news? What is its relevance, right? That we will discuss. And again, Nord Stream pipeline, right? These are small terms that I am discussing today because they reappear in the news again and again every month, right? So you should know what we are talking about when these terms come in picture in the news, right? So that's why I am going to clear your basics today, right? So let's begin the discussion first with SCO, right? So why we are discussing this news item or this topic today is because recently it has been announced that it's predicted that Iran and Belarus both can become the members of SCO soon if they satisfy the conditions for joining SCO. Whatever the conditions SCO has laid down for its membership, if those are fulfilled by these two nations, then they might become the full members of SCO, right? So we'll do the complete analysis of the news. Before that, let's first see what SCO is all about, right? What the basics of SCO we should know before going any further, right? So I have discussed with you multiple times that SCO is an international intergovernmental organization, right? International intergovernmental organization matlab different government, different countries are sitting together as part of this organization to share their common interest, to discuss about their common interest, to cooperate on the areas of their common interest, right? So सबसे पहले, so what are the aims and objectives of this this grouping, why this grouping was created at the first place, right? So this grouping is meant to ensure political, economic, military cooperation in the region. जितने भी member countries है of SCO, they intend to cooperate in these fields, political, economic and military specifically, and for other items also, right? So before we see it in detail, let's just see who are the members of SCO, right? So as you can see in this map, right? So this shows the permanent members or the full members of SCO, right? So who are the full members? You can learn it with this acronym, that is TRUCPIC, right? That means Tajikistan, Russia, Uzbekistan, China, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, India and Kyrgyzstan, right? Currently these 8 countries, if I'm not wrong, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 3, 8, right? These 8 countries are currently the full-time members of SCO, right? You should learn this acronym. इसी पे question इस बार pre में पूछा गया था, right? About the membership itself, right? So these 8 countries are the full-time members, right? Now there are some observer member states, right? So कोई भी country full मेंबर बनने से पहले ऑब्जर्वर ही होती है. इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान ऑल्सो हैड ऑब्जर्वर स्टेटस till 2017. It was only in 2017 that they were converted to full members. ठीक है, these are some, you can say hierarchy of members. Full time member बनने से पहले you get the observer status. So you can see here that Belarus and Iran already have the observer status. So now the talk is to make them full time members of the grouping. Right, here you just need to remember the full time members and remember the observer states also, right, useful for analyzing the situation of the grouping, right. Also see the pictorial or map based representation of the countries of the grouping, क्योंकि इस पे भी question बहुत बार पूछा जाता है. So you should know about the map also, right. Now, so these countries, the countries that we saw now, they intend to work on the political fields, on the economic field matlab to enhance trade, to enhance investments, to enhance energy exports. All the economic activities will be considered, right. Military cooperation, so that there is peace and stability. ठीक है, military level पे the representatives of all the member countries, they'll participate and they will discuss about common concern, common challenges, right, common security challenges like terrorism, trafficking, all those things, right. Drug trafficking is very much prominent in this area, right. So all that will be discussed by this group, and this group will help solve all these concerns of the member nations, right. So see, initially this grouping was created in 2001. The region of SCO happened in 2001, right, and now the charter was signed in 2002, and actually the grouping came to force in 2003, right, and India gained membership only in 2015, full membership, right. Just remember it for your knowledge that India is a recent member of SCO, right, not the founding member. बहुत बार ये क्वेश्चन भी आता है कि फाउंडिंग मेंबर है इंडिया या कोई और कंट्री या नहीं. सो इंडिया इज नॉट द फाउंडिंग मेंबर, इट बिकेम द फुल मेंबर इन 2017, right. So that is about it. Now, what are the basic aims and objectives, right. So as I told you now only that the first aim will be to ensure, peace, security and stability. Peace, security and stability in the region. ठीक है, ये आपने, you saw the region on the map. Just give me a minute. So you can see the region, right. Russia, China, India, right, all these are Central Asian nations, right. These are the dominant, these are the member countries, right, 5 Central Asian nations and others, Pakistan also, right. So now see, these countries are the members of this grouping. Now see, there are many issues that are faced by this region, right. You can say that there are intra-group conflicts also. India has conflicts with Pakistan and China, right. Then this region also faces the issue of terrorism. आप देखिए, because Afghanistan is in the neighborhood of this region. This is, you can say, Afghanistan somewhere here, right. So this Afghanistan, here we see rise of Taliban and many other terrorist groups. So that is why entire Central Asia, Xinjiang region of China, right, many other areas of Russia and entire India is threatened by terrorism arising out of these areas, right. Also, you might have heard about the Golden Crescent. Can you tell me what is Golden Crescent related to? Golden Crescent, tell me what it is related to and which are the member countries in Golden Crescent. Golden Crescent, quickly tell me what is it. Yes, Kanu, right. Tell me the member countries also. So golden crescent is nothing but it signifies the area which is very much dominant in supplying drugs in this region, right? Golden crescent comprises of, yes, Kanu, right, Vishal, right, Taruna, right, Iran, Afghanistan and Pakistan, right? These three countries also located in this region itself. These countries are very much responsible for the global supply of drugs. So that is why they are referred to as golden crescent of drug supply, right? So that is why there is, so such security issues are faced by this region. First being terrorism, drug trafficking leading to many other crimes, including human trafficking, right? Many other, underground activities, you can say, including pornography, organized crimes, all those kind of stuff that we relate to security threats in India or abroad, right? All those have their origin in this region. Many of those threats are faced by this region. That is why the group's objective is to ensure end to all these issues and maintain peace, security and stability in the region. ठीक है, सबको कॉमन थ्रेट है इन इश्यूज का. टेररिज्म हो गया, ट्रैफिकिंग होगी, डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ ट्रैफिकिंग, ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग, ड्रग ट्रैफिकिंग एंड स्लेवरी और वुमेन एक्सप्लॉयटेशन. all those kind of threats are faced by all the member countries. So they have decided to cooperate in the form of SCO to bring peace, stability and security in the region, right? That is why that is the first objective of SCO. Right. Second is strengthening mutual trust and neighbor lines, right? You see, now I told you that, just give me a minute again. So you see, the member countries are Pakistan, India, China, Russia. So see, and Central Asian countries. So these countries also have lot of mutual conflicts. आपको पता है, India and Pakistan, they do not see eye to eye. In most of the areas they have conflict of some kind, right? In the similar manner, India and China are also not on a friendly terms, you can say. There also many issues exist, and in that way China also has issues with Central Asian nations, right? Russia also has similar issues with Central Asia or China or India, right? So you can say that there are several issues that are existing amongst the members of the organization. So what the organization is now trying to do, they are trying to sit together to solve those issues and increase mutual trust. ठीक है, ये बस वही बात हो गई दैट आप एक क्लास में बैठे हैं. लेट्स जस्ट सपोज दैट यू आर अ क्लास ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स एंड 5 स्टूडेंट्स, you can consider yourself as the member of that 5 groups. You fight on many issues all the time. So now what you decide is, let's sit together and solve the issues, talk about the issues and build trust with amongst each other. That is what the group is trying to do, solve mutual issues and strengthen mutual trust, right? So that is the second objective. The third objective is to promote education, transportation, tourism, environmental protection and many other such kind of cooperation, right? So you can say on the softer side, the soft power, you can say, that is being considered as an objective, right? So there are countries like India which are very popular for their tourism destinations, right? There are countries like Russia which have sophisticated tourism infrastructure and they also have good transportation systems. So what these countries are trying to do, that they are trying to learn from each other, they are trying to help each other, they are trying to provide investments to each other, trade to each other, so that all of them can grow economically and socially. ठीक है, आप एक दूसरे के साथ मिल बांट के काम कर रहे हैं ताकि आपकी इकोनॉमी भी ग्रो करे, आपके लोग भी पढ़ लिख जाएं, उनको एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिले, उनको हर तरीके की सुविधाएं मिल सके, राइट? सो दैट इज द ऑब्जेक्टिव, टू कोऑपरेट ऑन multiple sectors, to cooperate in multiple sectors to ensure the interest of economy as well as society, right? So that is why this is the next important objective of SCO, right? And finally, to ensure a political and economic order that is democratic. So see, for long you see, especially after 1990s, मैंने आपको पहले भी बहुत क्लासेस में ये बात बताई है, after 1990s when USSR got disintegrated, we saw the emergence of a unipolar world that was led by USA and you can say Western organizations like IMF or World Bank, all controlled by majorly USA, right? Now what SCO intended to do is to provide an alternative to this West led or US led system. ठीक है, आप देखिए दो उसमें SCO में there are 3 big countries, that is Russia, China and India, right? All of them have at some point or the other rejected Western dominance over them, right? So that is why they collaborated, they came together to provide an alternative to the world in the form of SCO, right? So that now the dominance of world economy or world polity is not with the West, ठीक है? वेस्ट दुनिया की इकोनॉमी या दुनिया की पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम्स और डिसीजन मेकिंग को लीड नहीं कर रहा है. नाउ देयर इज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ नॉन वेस्टर्न or non-USA led organization that will look into maintaining a democratic polity and economy of the world. डेमोक्रेटिक मतलब एक बंदे का राज नहीं है यहाँ पे. देर आर अदर पार्टीज who are participating in the decision making for the globe, right? They will make decisions for their region, right? It would not be dominated by अमेरिका एवरीवेयर, ठीक है? पहले इशू ही ये था 1990s के बाद दैट अमेरिका यूज्ड टू लीड डिसीजन मेकिंग ऑफ द ग्लोब. सारे दुनिया के डिसीजंस आप कह सकते हैं कि यूएसए से इन्फ्लुएंस होते थे किसी ना किसी तरीके से, राइट? कैसा भी डिसीजन हो दैट इज बीइंग टेकन इन द वर्ल्ड दैट यूज्ड टू गेट इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय यूएसए इन सम फॉर्म और द अदर. सो एट दैट टाइम, दैट इज व्हाई यू सी ये 2001 के टाइम पे ये बनना शुरू हुआ, बिकॉज कंट्रीज रिजेक्टेड द डोमिनेंस ऑफ यूएसए. दे वांटेड अ सिस्टम वेयर दे हैड इक्वल वॉइस, राइट? दे हैड इक्वल वॉइस. दैट इज व्हाट इज डेमोक्रेटिक सिस्टम, राइट? दैट इज व्हाई एससीओ वाज फाउंडेड, राइट? सो ये सारे ऑब्जेक्टिव्स आपको 4 के 4 याद रखने हैं. यूज देम वाइजली इन योर आंसर राइटिंग, राइट? पीस, सिक्योरिटी, mutual trust, cooperation on various sectors, and then democratic political and economic order in the world, right? I hope this is very clear. I made it very simple for you. Now let's discuss the latest issue, that is Iran and Belarus entry, right? So now it's being said, as I told you earlier also, that Iran and Belarus can soon become the members of SCO if the conditions and all the obligations are met. Now what is the relevance of Iran and Belarus getting membership? So the relevance is that it shows the expansion of SCO. Expansion of SCO. So what does this means? That all these countries who want to join SCO, they agree with the vision and objectives of SCO. Vision and objectives of SCO. They want to be party of the objectives and the vision of SCO. SCO का vision क्या है? Peace maintain करना, mutual trust increase करना, various areas में cooperate करना, right? Democratic order create करना, right? So these objectives, these other countries also want to be part of this kind of a system, this kind of a grouping which is intended to ensure all these objectives, right? So it shows that countries find SCO as a relevant grouping, a relevant or significant grouping. जहाँ पे they are able to ensure their interests in various forms, right? It shows that the relevance or the status of SCO in the world is increasing. Everyone wants to be part of this grouping, that it's like that, right? कि ऐसा आपके एक ग्रुप है आपकी क्लास में, आप सोचिए कि आपने भी स्कूल अटेंड किया है, बहुत बार देखा होगा कुछ ग्रुप्स ऐसे होते थे where everyone wanted to join. So it's like that grouping, a grouping that every other country wants to join for their vision and for the objectives that they have held for themselves, right? So in that way it shows the rising significance or stature of SCO, right? Right, I'll clarify your doubts. So that is why this entry is important, right? Now, why is SCO relevant for India? हमें इंडिया के पर्सपेक्टिव से we need to study SCO from India's perspective, and why SCO is so relevant for India, that we need to do know very well, right? So there are multiple reasons. One, as I have already discussed, that there are many differences between the member countries. आप देखिए कि India has many differences with countries of SCO. That means China, that means Pakistan, right? Some other small issues with other countries, right? So SCO provides a platform where all these countries can sit together and they can discuss their issues. They can sort out their differences and cooperate on various fashions. Right? So that is why SCO is very relevant for India. For the first difference is to sort out the differences, right? Second, maybe we are saying that it will act as a platform where it can boost its ties with its traditional friends, that is Russia. रशिया के साथ इंडिया की दोस्ती बहुत गहरी रही है. You might have heard about the Indo-Soviet peace and friendship treaty also, right? In 1970s it was signed, 60s you can say, right? So that treaty defines India-Russia relationship. So SCO acts as a platform where India can enhance its friendship or positive relations with friendly countries like Russia and sort out its differences with rival countries like China and Pakistan. Right? So it is providing, SCO is providing a forum where India can collaborate with different countries in different ways, right? So that is why SCO is relevant for India. Third is fulfilling the energy demands, very very important, right? You see Central Asia में कौन कौन सी countries आती हैं? Tell me, what do you understand by Central Asia? What are the countries that form the part of Central Asia? Quickly. Yes, Shreya and Taruna, you are right. So it contains Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan and Turkmenistan, right? So you see this Central Asian part is very important for India, for it provides energy needs of India. We export, we import, sorry, natural gas, uranium, which is very much required for nuclear power, and natural gas and another important energy source from this area. Also from Russia to some extent we are getting the energy resources, right? So you see, to meet our energy needs we are very much dependent on these countries. Apart from the Middle Eastern nation from where we get our oil imports, from these countries we are getting such resources which provide for our energy security, राइट तो एनर्जी सिक्योरिटी को इंश्योर करने के लिए, अपनी एनर्जी डिमांड्स को मीट करने के लिए भी वी नीड टू कोऑपरेट विद दीज कंट्रीज, एंड फॉर दैट SCO acts as a perfect platform where India can collaborate with these countries for its energy needs, right? That is the third relevance, right? Then the fourth is to ensure maximum connectivity and stability across the borders. Stability, as I told you, by increasing mutual trust, right? And fighting the issues together, issues like terrorism, trafficking, right? By fighting the issues together, enhancing the mutual trust, the countries try to ensure stability across the borders. That is the intention. Connectivity increase करने से क्या होगा? The trade will be faster, the trade will be more with the countries. ठीक है, तो आपने बहुत सारे connectivity initiatives का India to Central Asia, you might have heard about many connectivity initiatives. Can you tell me, can you name any of such connectivity initiative? Connecting India, Iran, Central Asia, then with Russia, such. Can you name any of the connectivity initiatives? All of them are basically meant to increase the trade, to increase the flow of energy or other minerals across the borders, right? So that will help in ensuring economic connectivity between the countries. Name such connectivity initiatives. Yes, Shreya, there are pipelines like Tapi pipeline or India, Iran, Pakistan pipeline. There are many such pipeline initiatives. What else? Yes, very good, Taruna. It's International North-South Transit Corridor, INSTC is there, that connects these countries, right? Then there is one more, that is Ashgabat Agreement. Ashgabat Agreement, right? That is also somehow related to connecting or faster mobility of goods across these regions, right? So the intention, the overall aim behind these connectivity initiatives is to ensure quicker movement of products, to ensure seamless trade, to ensure joint economic growth, right? So that is why this connectivity is also important for India to, that is why SCO is relevant for India, to maintain, strong connectivity with the member countries, right? Then the next relevance of central, SCO is that India can leverage the economic benefits of the region. ठीक है, आप देखिए, India can push its trade with the Central Asian nations, trade of goods or even trade of services, like doctors, like teachers, like accountants, like IT professionals, right? So India can send all these people to Central Asian countries especially, right? And then earn a lot of foreign exchange from there, right? Earn a lot of business from there. In that way, this Central Asia is very important for India, right? Then see, that is why मार्केट फॉर IT, हम अपने बैंक्स भी वहाँ खोल सकते हैं, हमारे एयरटेल, रिलायंस, हमारे टेलीकम्युनिकेशन फर्म्स कैन ऑल्सो गो देयर, right? We can also sell our pharmaceutical products, right? There is a lot of potential in these countries, and India can leverage a lot of economic benefit by having a good relation with Central Asia, and SCO provides one such forum where India can interact with all these countries. That is why SCO is very relevant, right? Then fighting terrorism, combating terrorism. Okay, as I told you that the entire region faces this common threat of terrorism. So SCO also has a special mechanism, that is RATS, Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure. That is RATS, Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure, right? So this grouping is specially formed to ensure that terrorism, the threat of terrorism, can be handled in the region, right? So that is why again this grouping is very relevant for India. हमें पता ही है इंडिया के लिए टेररिस्ट थ्रेट इज ह्यूज. SCO में बैठ के इंडिया टेररिज्म को फाइट करने के लिए इनिशिएटिव्स और डिस्कशंस होल्ड कर सकता है, right? So that is why SCO is again very important. And finally, to maintain, you know, strategic autonomy. So as a student was also saying, see, India is also member of Western led groupings like Quad, like, right, and many other such groupings. So India does not want to be seen as a ally of the West or the US, you can say, right? So SCO helps as a balancing platform for India. ठीक है, SCO में because Russia and China are the member, so being a member of Quad does not make India, you know, a US or Western ally altogether, right? SCO shows that India values its relations with other countries also, especially Russia and China, who are apprehensive of Quad, right? So it allows India to maintain a balance between its relations and maintain strategic autonomy. Strategic autonomy का क्या मतलब है? That India is not under USA or US led systems like Quad or any other thing, right? India has relations with USA, India has relations with Russia and China, India has concerns with USA, India has concerns related to Russia and China also. So what is India trying to do? India is trying to cooperate wherever possible and fight or confront wherever necessary, right? In that way, India is maintaining its strategic autonomy by collaborating with all the countries, right? Not taking any one side. It is not taking any one side, rather it is trying to maintain its autonomy and maintain its relations with all the nations wherever possible, right? So that is why it's SCO is important to maintain that strategic autonomy and balance of the two sides, right? And finally, the security cooperation. As I told you, there are different threats being faced, terrorism, trafficking, and all those misinformation, fake news, all those kinds of threats. Those can also be fought together by the SCO members. That is why SCO becomes relevant for India, right? So these are all the relevance points. Please do, you know, understand them and make a note of them very properly, and you will be able to use them in your answer as it is. ठीक है, समझ के try to remember them, right? Now finally, there are some issues also, as we have discussed. Firstly, that there are mutual rivalries, so it is difficult to cooperate. ठीक है, आप देखिए SARC भी क्यों नहीं function कर पा रहा? What are the issues with SARC and another organization? Because India and Pakistan are both members of SARC and both keep, you know, fighting about bilateral issues rather than cooperating on multilateral level, right? तो वो SARC आगे ही नहीं बढ़ पा रहा. Same is the issue with SCO, right? Now Pakistan is also a member, China is also a member. It is difficult to maintain positive cooperation, right? Many times bilateral issues overtake mutual multilateral interest and discussions, right? So that is an issue. Second issue is that China is very much dominant in this group, right? So that dominance of China in this grouping also threatens the interest of other countries and ensuring their interest, right? Right, like India, specifically India, right? Then also you see when the membership in 2017 was being given to India, at that time China also made it sure that Pakistan gets full membership to SCO. Although you see the stature of India is much higher than Pakistan, but still China everywhere tries to equate Pakistan to India. राइट तो SCO में भी जब मेंबरशिप मिल रही थी, इंडिया गॉट द मेंबरशिप बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स डेमोक्रेटिक वर्च्यूज, बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स कोऑपरेटिव एटीट्यूड, बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स पीसफुल लिविंग policies, right? But then China, because it is very much dominant in the grouping, it made sure that Pakistan also becomes the full member at that time in SCO, right? So it shows that the grouping might fail to ensure mutual interest of all the members, specifically India, right? So इस तरीके से there are some challenges also that are being witnessed by SCO, the grouping, right? So that is all about briefly SCO. thoda this is the factual information. Next year the summit of SCO, that is 2023 summit, will be held in India. So it is important, it might be asked in various government examinations, try to remember it. And also another very important fact, that Varanasi has been selected as the SCO's region first tourism and cultural capital, ठीक है? SCO's first tourism and cultural capital status has been given to a city, that is वाराणसी, ठीक है? इस फैक्ट को बहुत अच्छे से याद रखिए, किसी में ही एग्जाम में, इवन इन यूपीएससी, इन स्टेट पीसीएस, इन अदर गवर्नमेंट एग्जामिनेशंस, दिस क्वेश्चन इज वेरी लाइकली टू बी आस्क्ड, ठीक है? किस सिटी को फर्स्ट एससीओ सिटी की टूरिज्म एंड कल्चरल कैपिटल का स्टेटस दिया गया, दैट इज अवर वाराणसी ऑफ इंडिया, ठीक है? सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ठीक है? सो ट्राई टू राइट ऑल द पॉइंट्स दैट आई हैव डिस्कस अंडर देम, अंडरस्टैंड देम वेल, then try to attempt this question. As you know, we have the initiative Seize the Mains, right? This is the question for Seize the Mains. Try to write a good answer to this question, that SCO is bound to become the torch bearer of geopolitical liberty, freedom, peace for the 21st century. Comment. Do you think this statement is right? So in comment section you usually have to present your opinion, showing mostly both the side of the situation, right? So try to write this answer in 150 words, that is 10 markers, right? And then it will be discussed tomorrow, right? So now we are already much ahead of the time. We'll discuss the rest of the topics in the next session. So thank you so much for joining. If you have any doubt, you can post it in the comment section. We'll respond to that. Thank you so much for joining.